What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe with No Days Off DFS here to bring you that NBA slate breakdown. We have a 5-gamer. We're back down to 5, y'all. No more 8, no 9, down to 5. We do have 6 games technically playing on, but no. Actually, I think we got more than 6 games, but we got that early game. No, yeah, we got 6 games going on today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can still count. I can count. We have 6 games going on today. One of those games is like the early game. I don't know if it's like kind of like how the WNBA does like the kids games and stuff throughout the season or whatnot. I don't know if that's what it is going on for the Charlotte Hornets taking on the San Antonio Spurs, but honestly, I'm kind of glad that game is not on the main slate. Really looking at it, the spend ups on today's slate, not bad spend ups either. Like you guys already know. You see the teams that are on the today's slate. You guys already know who I'm gonna be hyping up like crazy today. Like I've been doing it the last couple slates that he's been on, point blank period. I mean, when you look at his price is still just sitting pretty nice. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Hopefully you guys had a good night last night. It was an okay night last night for myself. So hopefully we can run it back here today. Again, I'm really glad that the San Antonio Spurs and Charlotte Hornets game is not on the actual slate, because the Hornets, it's like the rising Hornets are going up against like what should be a juggernaut San Antonio Spurs team, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they clash and how they go up against each other in this game. But speaking of last night, Denver. Denver. I don't like y'all. Specifically, don't like this mofo known as the Joker. You come back, you play, you do 31 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. Didn't expect your ass to play. Didn't see no news, no rhyme, no nothing. Of course, you guys saw when I recorded. There was nothing out that the Joker was probable, questionable, nothing. Nathan, zip, nothing. Ain't seen nothing about this man possibly being back, and all of a sudden, hey, I'm a hoop tonight. And he played great. I mean, shit, they 122 to 109 against a rising Clippers team who's been playing some really great ball. And it was surprising because, I mean, Kawhi just shot like crap. And Kawhi was like, I'm gonna be honest, Kawhi was my stud that I paid up for yesterday. And I did do that because the Joker was in. I was like, shoot, the Joker's in. He's gonna start. This game is going to be much closer than what it was expected to be in the first place. But they are still weak versus opposing small forwards. Kawhi has such a high usage. Nope. It was the James Harden show over the Kawhi Leonard show. Still, it was a good game. Great. It could have been even better if Kawhi just would have went ape shit. At least 55 fantasy points is what I was hoping for out of him. Barely got to 40. Barely. Still, it was okay. It was all right. My Pelicans and the Memphis Grizzlies game, bro. Jaren Jackson Jr., I hope you step on several Legos. Several. You and Jacques Landale. Jacques just didn't do shit. I mean, he had a horrible shooting night. Jaren Jackson Jr., if it wasn't for the defensive stats, he wouldn't have gotten there at all. Those defensive stats saved his stat line. And if it wasn't for that, you definitely would have been on a bans list and would have just pissed me off. Cam Spencer, I guess it is what it is. Of course, the Pelicans that went out there, they played great. Zion, he did what we expected him to do, was one of the better value options over there at the power forward spot. Trey Murphy, he didn't hoop at all. It was Derek Queen and Sadiq Bey. Both of these guys, they freaking killed it. It was amazing. Now, they are on a back-to-back. They are going to be playing today, so we're going to see exactly where we're going to attack over there. And then what other game? Oh, and then, of course, the damn Utah Jazz, bro. Y'all mofos. Now, granted, if you are on the Patreon, you did see the core. I did have Kyle Filipowski in the core going up against the Brooklyn Shitters, of course, because once they ruled out Kevin Love and they ruled out Nurk, we already knew Filipowski was going to at least play at least close to 30 minutes in that game because he's their lone big that they actually have. Kyle Anderson is going to be out there, but no, it was going to be Filipowski, flip time. So hopefully you guys are able to make some money on yesterday's slate. I'm going to try to run it back again today and see if we can, figure it out, get some good stuff going on over here and break it down. As always, if you guys are new here, you guys enjoying the content, you guys enjoying what your boy does over here, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you guys don't miss any of the sauce and stuff your boy does drop over here on the channel, and drop a like on this video if this video or any of my other videos and content help you guys win some money. We got 5-gamer over here on DraftKings. 50K to first for whatever reason. I really feel like it's because I feel like DraftKings and other sites, like, they find other sports to prioritize when NBA should be like your 100. We should have 100K every single time for NBA. Like there's no MLB, there's no NFL going on right now. Why don't we have the 100K? Of course, they're pumping up golf. They're trying to get you to play golf, and I can't play. I like going to Top Golf, but I can't play golf to save my life. I've tried doing golf DFS, and when you have those players and they miss the cut, it pisses you off so goddamn bad, because you look like you got a good lineup, and then on that cut day, boy, when half your line goes down, and be like, yeah, damn, I'm done. I'm done. Like, you have to predict who's gonna actually win the tournament. Pretty much is what you like. They got to make it through all the cuts. If they out there on the final day, like, that's what you're needing. And I still ain't figured it out with golf. One day maybe I'll be able to dive into that. I used to do it for tennis, but NBA right now is the only thing I can really pay attention to, especially with sports and stuff going on. So anyway, Atlanta Hawks taking on the Indiana Pacers. I know we've seen this game a couple of times already going on. We do have some injury news that we do have to pay attention to over here, because we did see last time out for Atlanta. We already know Onyeka Okongwu was out. He fucked up his teeth. His teeth got pushed back. They pushed his muffin cap back blue. Like, this whole left side from his central incisor going over to his canine is jacked up, bro. But Jalen Johnson, he also missed last game as well with a calf injury. The thing is that was on the back end of a back-to-back versus the Houston Rockets, so I kind of feel like they were just holding bro out. I do expect and I hope that Jalen Johnson plays. If he's going to be out, then we're going to probably get Vic Krejci back into the starting lineup again over here. And we do know that they started and they decided to start Koloko instead of Gay over here for Atlanta, and I would expect for that to be the same. They did split the minutes pretty much down the middle over there for them. On the Indiana Pacers side thing, they're only just still missing Obi Top Dog. That's it. Over here on Atlanta, though, looking at him, if Jalen Johnson is back and he's playing, of course, we're definitely going to be looking towards Jalen Johnson. We know what opposing power forwards, high usage, everything. You're going to need him out there. I definitely do love the upside, especially Okongwu out there, the rebounding, the scoring, all those things that he normally just goes ahead and does. 10K is a rightful price tag. Long as he's not limited, he's had at least 40 fantasy points in both games going up against the Indiana Pacers, and it's definitely a spot that I wouldn't mind just continuing to attacking. High usage power forwards, we've seen him be able to go out here and have some decent days. Buzelis just dropped 33. Zion had 45. Scotty Barnes has 60. Outside of that, if Jalen Johnson is going to be out, then that's going to be a boost to some of the other players like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Dyson Daniels, CJ McCollum off the bench. We already know that Koloko is going to be a value option that we can get to over here for today, especially at that 3,600 price tag. He's starting. He's going to be out there playing. And we do know you can take opposing centers versus the Pacers. Just got to hope he goes out there and just gets the rebounds. If he can knock down some threes like what he's trying to show that he can do, maybe be more efficient from that 3 of 7 that he had, which isn't bad. 42% from the field is not bad at all. Then definitely, of course, I'm definitely going to be looking in that direction again towards Koloko. You can play the 50-50 game of, do I want to just play Koloko, or do you want to pay up and be different and go with Gay instead? You definitely can. If Jalen Johnson misses, then I would consider looking up at Gay, because Gay should have room 2 more minutes and a pathway to be out there on the court. Outside of that, definitely CJ off the bench, 6,500. Like it better if Jalen Johnson was to miss. If not, Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels going up against the Indiana Pacers has played very, very well in both games. He scored really well, and we know he's kind of been in somewhat of a shooting slump over the last, I don't know, 25 games of the season or whatever. He's not knocking down his threes, but he still is able to get to the rim. He still is somewhat able to finish in that mid-range game area, but he also stuffs the stat sheet in all type of categories. 7,300 is not a bad price tag for him, and I definitely don't mind going to someone who has been consistent in this matchup at that $7,300 price tag. Definitely don't hate it, don't mind it at all. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I like it better if Jalen Johnson is going to be out. He's done pretty decent going up against the Pacers with at least 32 and 38 fantasy points in both of his games. Love it better if Jalen Johnson's out, because then it is going to be more shot attempts. At that 7,300, I might as well just go ahead and play Dyson Daniels instead right there, or just drop down to CJ McConnell. He will be a GPP pivot that you can definitely get to. Again, like it better if Jalen Johnson would be out. That's kind of really just it over there for me. Corey Kispert, he's out there starting. Luke Kennard, Corey Kispert, Vic Krejci, all GPP options, not must plays or anything that I feel like you have to get to. Over here on the Indiana Pacers side of things, we do know that Ben Mathurin, he is back, but he has been playing off the bench the last couple of games. I want to say he did start the second half over somebody in the last game that they did play. 28 minutes, looks. We know he's going to go out there and score. Like, that's his main thing that he's going to go out there and do. I don't mind him as a GP option off the bench. 5,600 is not a bad price tag for him. Went out there, dropped 22.5 fantasy points the last time out, going up against the Atlanta Hawks, which was just recently the last game. If they're going to continue to give our boy Jarace Walker starts, just got to hope that he can actually go out there and finish and do what he has been able to do. He's played really well. He has started both games going up against the Atlanta Hawks on the season, and he played really well that last time out. 37 fantasy points in the game. He played 30 minutes in that one. Just got to hope that they're not going to mess with the minutes. I really do like that 5,400 price tag, and I will go right back to it, as we have seen opposing power forwards, even though Jalen Johnson's out there, not out there, they play well. they have played well going up against them so far in the season. Andrew Nembhard, he's there. Definitely, you can, of course, mess with that. He's only played 1 out of the 2 games going up against them. I don't hate it, don't mind it. I'm not going to worry too much about it. It's okay. And then same thing for Pascal Siakam. He's there at his price. 8,900 is not bad at all. He dropped 50 fantasy points last time out going up against them. It's an okay spot. Not necessarily something I'm running gun to. 8,900, you're not going to endure on my 9K plays that I really do want to get to. And then there's actually a player that is right around Siakam's price tag that I kind of want to go to instead, who's in a pretty good matchup on today's slate. So again, don't mind it. GPP pivot would be going up here to Siakam. Nembhard, Neesmith, he's there. He's okay. Not a must play. If you land there, it's an okay option. But really, it's Jarris Walker over here at that 5,400 price tag. Just got to hope the minutes don't get yo-yoed and played around. Then, of course, as always, TJ McConnell off the bench. He's always going to be firmly in play. You know, you're going to at least get about 20-ish fantasy points and upwards for some more over there for him. New Orleans Pelicans taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. As of right now, with me recording this, there is no injury news or no news that anyone is going to sit currently for the Pelicans. No news at all yet. I say that. Same thing for Philly. The only thing that they had was Quentin Grimes. He's a game time decision to play. Fully do expect for him to actually play because he looks like he's probable. Now over here on the Pelican side of things, Trey Murphy coming off of a shit of a game last night. Coming off of a completely shitter of a game. I kind of would expect for him to be able to bounce back here, especially after the night that he had last night. These two teams have not played each other yet. We have seen opposing twos, or if you want to call them the opposing one, whatever the heck it is that they're actually trying to run them over here, those that can actually shoot, and that shoot the 3 ball, they've done decent going up against the 76ers. Donovan Mitchell in both of his games going up against them, 61 and 44 fantasy points. Devin Booker, he had a 37 fantasy points. Con Knipple, he went out there and dropped 34 fantasy points, hitting multiple threes, rebounding, and also dishing out the rocks and playing, getting those assists. For the fact that they're not running a traditional point guard out there over there for the Pelicans right now, the ball is in Trey Murphy's hand. It's in Zion's hands currently at the moment. And I just love the upside. Going right back to a player that burnt a lot of people yesterday because he was decently owned. I wouldn't mind going back to that right there at the $8,100 price tag. Now, it just sucks that he only has point guard eligibility. Really think that's crazy, but still wouldn't mind looking in his direction as a potential option. Outside of that, long as Zion's going to be good to go and he's going to play, of course, in this back-to-back, which looking through at it, he played a back-to-back right here versus the Denver Nuggets and then played the next night going up against the Brooklyn Shitters. Long as Zion's going to be in and he's going to be able to be that force that we know that he can be, getting downhill, getting to the rim, things of that nature, I don't mind, of course, looking at him. We have seen opposing power forwards go out here and cook and have some decent days, and none of them truly have the same usage, except for maybe Evan Mobley, Pascal Siakam, that Zion Williamson does have out here. We know he's facilitating the rock, he's rebounding, he's scoring, of course, at least getting 20 points over his last several games. Don't mind going towards Zion again, but I would say Trey Murphy would be your GPP pivot. Yes, 2 different positions, but hey, guess what? If you're only going to take one Pelican from them, then that's where you're going to make the decision of, that's where I say the GPP option that you have between the two. Now, Saddiq Bey over here at that small forward position. This is the weak spot over here for the 76ers. Last couple of small forwards, DeMar DeRozan, 42. Kyle fucking Kuzma, 43. Brandon Miller, 50. OG Anunoby, 41. Kevin Durant, 50. John Tyson, 52. Tyson before that, 26. Bey has been balling. 41, 46, 47, 52, 30, damn near, in his last several games. He's starting, he's playing the minutes, the ball's going in the rim, he's rebounding the ball, he's playing some pretty solid defense. If he's going to be out there for 30 minutes again on tonight, we already know that they're shortening the rotation over here for the Pelicans. They are got some players dangling on the trade market. Definitely wouldn't mind going right back to Saddiq Bey and running the block back. Now, the one thing that I do think in this game, I do think that Derek Queen might have some issues. And of course, we're going to talk about one of my favorite big men coming up in a second, and Joel Embiid. I really do feel like he's going to have some issues trying to guard and deal with Joel Embiid, and this could be a repeat of what we saw before where he got himself in foul trouble, most recently going up against the San Antonio Spurs when he was out there going up against Wemby. I think this could be a repeat, and we know for a fact Joel Embiid is very good at drawing fouls. That is one of his marquee skill sets that he has perfected since he's been in the league. So I would actually put Derek Queen as the GPP option, and I would probably look more towards looking at Messi. I do think this is going to be one of those games where we see a lot of minutes for Messi in this one here. Messi, however the heck you say his name. G Herbo, he's out there, he's playing, he's starting. Definitely a GP option you can go to. I don't mind it. 4,300. You could do way worse if you land down here. Of course, if we get that word and news from Atlanta, that we probably would be prioritizing more of that value over there in that game. but definitely you can, of course, look towards G Herbo. We know that Poole, he's pretty much out of the rotation. They're not messing with him. They're trying to go ahead and get him traded. PV would be another GPP pivot option, and these are just some of the players that you can consider since they are on the back-to-back. And same thing with Jose Alvarado as well, just because they are in the back-to-back, you would imagine that maybe we should see a little bit of minutes for some of these players. Another one, if we do think that Misi gets himself into foul trouble, that Queen gets himself into foul trouble, don't rule out our boy Carlo. Carlo would be another one that would have to go out there and get some minutes to log to try to deal with Embiid, and if they actually decide they want to play drum dog off the bench over there as well. Over here for the 76ers, I mean, I've already kind of harped on it and talked about it, but Joel Embiid is in a really great spot. Just like how it was for what we quote unquote should have had from Jacques Landale, but we did get it from Jaren Jackson Jr., is the upside for opposing centers going up against the Pelicans. They bleed fantasy points to them. Joel Embiid is in a prime, beautiful, amazing, wonderful spot. And as a matter of fact, let me pull up Prize Picks on my other screen because I want to see what his fantasy points is. If it's anything under 50, I definitely do think that Joel should be able to just soar over there. Come on, low for me. Embiid. Are you serious? They don't have Embiid up? They don't have the 76ers game up. What? There's no way. They don't have the 76ers up. Wow. At the time of recording this, the 76ers are not up here on the board. That should tell you something. I don't know what they're waiting on, or if they might be waiting on the Pelicans news because they might be thinking the same thing I'm thinking, that it's a back-to-back. Something's going to shake from this Pelican tree. Either way, if they put Embiid up and he's around like 45, 46, 47, 48, 48 is probably the highest I'm going to go and mess with. If he's above that 50, like the 52, 53, only put it into a 6 flex. But I feel very confident in Joel Embiid for his 50 fantasy points. And then outside of that, I would feel very confident in Joel Embiid to go out here and drop 25 on their heads. I know they're probably going to put it up at like 27.5 or 28. Even if it's that, I would take that more as towards like a 6 flex or a 5 leg that you could take. Definitely would alt him down to 25, so 24.5 if you're trying to look at like making like a safe goblin 4-play or something like that, or you just need a last leg in and you don't care that it is a goblin. 24.5 would be pretty safe. Embiid should be able to crush this matchup going up against Derek Queen, Misi, whoever the hell it is that they just try to throw out there at him. Now outside of that, Paulita George, our forwards going up against the Pelicans have been cooking. I know Zion's on the flip side, but still, they have been cooking. Jalen Williams, J. Will, over here for the Thunder, dropped 30 fantasy points. Jaren Jackson Jr. in both of his games going up against them, 57 and 46 fantasy points. Shangoon, Steven Adams was starting at the center spot in this game. He dropped 47. Pascal Siakam, 45. Paul George, he's shooting the ball with confidence. He's definitely knocking down the street ball. He's cutting to the rim. He's playing on defense. He's playmaking, all those things. 6,700 is a really, really, really great price option and upside that we can actually get for Paul George here on today's slate, and I definitely am going to be looking in his direction as a potential option, especially if I don't get up to Joel Embiid. If I want to be greedy from this game, then maybe I can see myself going with both Paul George and Joel Embiid and just hope for that today would be the day that Tyrese Maxey just has a down game over here for us. Now, I don't mind Tyrese Maxey, 9,900. It's okay, totally fine. You got to pay up for somebody on today's slate, but we do got Ant-Man going up against Memphis coming up in the next game over there, and then of course we got some Miami stuff and the Houston Rockets going up against the Dallas Mavericks as well on today's slate. So definitely wouldn't mind looking towards Joel Embiid, Paul George. Tyrese Maxey is an okay option if you want to. I think he would be lower on today's slate. And then VJ Edgecombe. This is one of those sneaky weird spots that you can go get VJ, probably at low ownership. Not my favorite option that you could take to over here. My favorite is going to be Paul George on today's slate, but definitely someone that I could see as a GPP option with some upside. And then as long as Kelly Oubre Jr. is going to get the start, definitely just got to hope that he can knock down some shots and take more shots. But with this team being fully healthy, I just feel like it's kind of hard for us to really get those big Kelly Oubre games like what we were. I think Kelly's going to be more prime suited for whenever we do know that we're going to be missing somebody over here from the 76ers. Speaking of the Memphis Grizzlies, looking over here at them going up against Minnesota Timberpups. Anthony Edwards, 9,300. Didn't play the last time that they played going up against Memphis. And I looked at the schedule because like this could be a rest spot for Ant, depending on who they're playing in the next game. No, it's not. They're playing Memphis back-to-back games. They play them again on the 2nd. So I think that's Monday, I believe, which really sucks. But this is one of those games in those spots where we can get Ant just going over here, just being stupid, just going stupid if he decides that he wants to. Right here. It's going to be hard, really, truly, to me to like gauge this game. For somehow, some way, it's an 8.5 point spread, 229.5 total. Currently, right now, as me recording this video. There's just no way that the Timber Pups don't wax the floor with the Memphis Grizzlies. Just depends on what grit and grime actually comes out of this game. On the Minnesota Timber Pup side of things, of course, Julius Randle, he's in play. We have seen opposing power forwards. We just saw Zion go out there and just drop 39 on their heads. Julius stuffs the stat sheet, balls in his hands. He definitely facilitates and play makes because they don't have a true point guard out there on the court anyway. Could see an upside game for him, 8,500. Don't mind that. He had a middling game. It was like mid-30s going up against them when they played back in December. Dante, he's there as well, 6,600. I don't mind it. I feel like there's some better guards I'd rather get to, you know, like the Dyson Daniels or going over there to Andrew Nembhard or something like that, or look inside the Philly game or something like that instead as well, that I'd rather get to instead of him. Now, I could say Rudy Gobert. This is a really great spot for Rudy. I would imagine he should still have to deal with Jacques Landale being out there because even if, which right now, looking at the injury report, Santi Aldama is questionable to play in this game. Same thing for Ty Jerome, for both of those guys to be back and playing today. Even if they do have Santi, I can't see Santi starting and having Jaren Jackson Jr. having to deal with Rudy. I would imagine it should be Jacques Landale still out there with Jaren Jackson Jr. playing the floor. It all depends on what the heck they decide that they want to do. Either way, Rudy should be able to dominate. I mean, opposing centers going up against them have cooked. We just saw Derek Queen drop 45. Before that, Diabite killed it, 19 rebounds. He just dropped 51. Alfie, 52. Derek Quinn again, 30. Onyeka Okongwu, 35. I mean, what does Rudy do? Literally, he rebound. This is just like going up against the damn Chicago Bulls, where we played Rudy Gobert when he has played going up against the Bulls, and he's gone out there and rewarded us with back-to-back 30-plus fantasy point games. 6,500, not bad. Room for some upside. I don't mind looking at Rudy Gobert. And then outside of Rudy, I definitely don't mind Jaden McDaniels because this is one of those sneaky spots where we can get those steals, upsides that we know that he actually can bring. 6,200. Would love it better if Ant was to sit. Would really love it better if Ant was to sit. But I know that's not going to be the case. If we think the game is going to be a blowout, then we're definitely, of course, looking towards players like Bones Highland. Just as much as I love it for Rudy Gobert, definitely have to love it as well over here for Naz Reid on the flip side of things as well. So we definitely have to look towards Naz as a potential option for us to get to. Outside of that, really, nothing else really just sticks out over there as a must play or something that we have to get to over there for them. Now, on the Memphis Grizzlies side of thing, I did just mention, of course, Santi Aldama, he's questionable to play. And then, of course, Ty Jerome is questionable to play. If Santi's back 6,200, I'm not necessarily looking in his direction. If he's not going to be limited and if he's starting, maybe as a GPP option, but not really going there. Nobody truly sticks out as a must play over here to me from the Memphis Grizzlies. Everybody to me over here is going to be a straight up GPP option. If you want to probably get some upside, some value, something that'll like pop and it will be low owned, then I could definitely see going down here to my boy Cam Spencer at that 6,200 price tag, coming off of a pretty much a stinker of a game. This will be the one spot that I do think you can attack, would be with opposing playmaking guards, and that will be Cam Spencer, of course, over here for them. Outside of that, I'm not going to force anything or just try to get anything over there from Memphis. All of them GPP options straight up to the T. Chicago Bulls taking on the Miami Heat. I swear, I feel like we just saw this game over here for them. As I was getting ready to go ahead and record this, we did just get some news, and I think maybe a trade is about to go down. Vooch out. He's doubtful to play. Kobe White doubtful to play. Josh Giddey, he's out. Trey Jones, he's out. Jalen Smith, he's out. We are literally going to get, I think, just the broadcast of, hey, we got pieces that you might want to trade for. Buzelis is off limits. I know Buzelis isn't going anywhere, but Ayo Dosunmu, Kevin Huerter, Okoro, Patrick Williams. I honestly don't even know who they fully roll out here for this game. Either way, it don't matter to me. The main options that I want to get to is going to be, of course, my boy Ayo Dosunmu and Kevin Huerter and Buzelis. Those three are going to be the main options that we want to get to over here for this team. Fast-paced game going up against the Miami Heat, who we just saw them play recently, and Buzelis went out there and dropped pretty much 38 fantasy points, 37.5 going up against them last time out. We can go right back to the well for our boy Buzelis. And then, of course, Ayo Dosunmu, he went out there and dropped 38 fantasy points, and that was off of the bench. Yes, we're going right back over there. And then your boy Red Velvet, Kevin Huerter, he dropped 42 fantasy points. This is the showcase game. That's what I feel like it is for these guys out here. You're showcasing what teams could potentially get. Maybe some trade rumors are starting to heat up, and you got to go ahead and just get the last push to push these teams over the edge. Kevin Huerter, Ayo Dosunmu, Buzelis, those are going to be the main options that you want to get to. And I do think a GPP pivot, and that'll probably go low owned, and no one's going to really pay attention to him, but he's going to have to go out there and play the minutes. Isaac Okoro. Isaac Okoro is going to have to be out there. He's a good defender. If his three ball actually is falling, can get you some upside. I'm not saying go all in on Isaac. That's not what I'm saying, but it will definitely give you some upside. Outside of that, they are going to have to get some minutes probably to Phillips. We probably are not even probably. We're going to have to see some Javon Carter. Somebody's going to have to play the backup minutes off the bench. You don't have Josh Giddey. You don't have Trey Jones over here. So I would imagine that we're going to see some Javon Carter here in this game. That'll be really a deep GPP option that you can mess with. Don't go too crazy with that. And then they might dust off DeLon Terry as another option in play that we could see. If Terry was to magically get the start or something like that, definitely would be looking towards playing some Terry on today's slate, but just don't go super crazy with these bench plays over here with Chicago. It looks wonky and wild what they're doing. Now on the Miami Heat side of things, again, like I just said, we just saw this game, but Davion Mitchell, he's doubtful to play once again. So we're going to get Jackson. He is starting at the point guard spot. Drew Smith, of course, racking up all those minutes off the bench. And then, of course, Jaime Jaquez, he's going to play his boatload of ton of minutes that he's going to play as well, pretty much being the ball handler, just playing 30 minutes once again as well, because there is still no Tyler Hero. And, ready? Norman Powell is out as well. So we got a short-handed Miami Heat team. Short-handed. All the usage and everything going over here. And hold on, wait. Nope. They're bringing Khalil Ware off the bench, so Ware should still be coming off the bench. He went out there in 12 minutes and still had a great game. But Bam Adebayo, we're looking at Bam Bam. Bam went out there, 34 minutes, dropped 40 fantasy points going up against them. Not bad, going right back to him. Jaime Jaquez at 6,100. How they gonna drop my boy down 200? And there's no Norman Powell. There is no Tyler Hero. He stuffs the stat sheet. He has legitimate triple-double upside, and you're going up against one of the weaker teams in the league that will let him score in the paint? Jaime Jaquez all day. And if you guys can't tell from the cover photo, Jaime Jaquez all day, every day, play of the day. Matter of fact, this is how excited I get sometimes whenever I go through and I look at stuff, y'all. Like, just real excited. If they got my boy Jaime Jaquez over here on Prize Picks and his 32.5, smash the over. 32.5 fantasy points for Jaime Jaquez. Smash the over. Smash, 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 smash. Matter of fact, his points sitting at 17.5. Definitely a parlay piece for me if I'm trying to make, especially once that Embiid gets up, because I know they're going to put Embiid up right below 30. I'm taking Embiid for 25 points, and I'm going to take Jaime Jaquez for 15 points. Both those things straight up for a wrap. I'm taking that easy day, all day. I see no reason not to. If you want to mess with something else for Jaime, I would take him for 4 assists. That's another one that you can take because he is going to handle the ball. He is pretty much just their secondary playmaker and creator whenever he's out there on the court. I see no reason not to just jump all aboard onto the Jaime Jaquez train. Love the upside. Like Jaquez, he's out there, but Jackson Sweets can't do shit when it comes down to what Jaime can. Like, this is a decent spot where you can I mean, even if the game was to blow out, Jaime's going to be out there. He's going to be out there regardless. Like, this is just a really great Jaime Jaquez spot, bro. Bounce back GPP candidate would be going out here to Andrew Wiggins, who didn't do really anything going up against him last time out. You can mess with Andrew if you want to. I'm not. It's a GPP pivot that you can go to. Same thing for Pelle Larson. He's going to be out there. He's going to play some minutes. Of course, the down players. If that 3 ball is falling like what he was just doing going up against them last time out, he went out there. How many? He knocked down only 1 3, but still scored 15 points, a couple of rebounds, played some defensive stats. He's going to be out there. There's no Norman Powell and stuff like that. Don't mind looking towards him as a cheap value option, and would be kind of almost like a cheaper Jaime Jaquez. Off the bench, Drew Smith, Fontecchio, and Jovic. Those are all options that you can get to and firmly in play. All right. Last game of the slate, we're looking at the Dallas Mavericks taking on the Houston Rockets. This one should be an interesting, hopefully interesting game, especially if your boy Cooper Flag comes out here and he's got that dog still in him. Now, in this game itself, to me, it is kind of, it's a low total, 223.5 total. It's low, very low total in this game. I'm not overzealous to try to get a whole bunch of pieces, especially from the Dallas Mavericks side of things. Najee Marsh, he missed their last game that they played. Looking at the injury report that they have for today for this game, it's just Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving are going to be the main 2 that's going to be out. Najee Marsh, I don't mind looking towards him as a potential option over here. I do feel like Cooper Flag, 8,500. I'd rather just play Paul George. I'm not expecting another 70-point burger over here from you. And in your 3 games actually that you've gone versus the Houston Rockets, only 1 game he had 38 fantasy points, and that was on a decent shooting night that he was able to have. I just don't feel like this is a Cooper Flag necessary spot or day, especially opposing point guards, whatever it is position that he's going to be playing, point guard, small forward. I don't see myself going to Cooper Flag. I do think, and it's weird, opposing centers have been, especially since Steve-O went down, been playing pretty well going up against Şengün. GPP option and Daniel Gafford. GPP, because we have seen them give some big days to opposing centers. Wemby just had 66, of course. Jaren Jackson Jr., 33. Joel Embiid 72. That's, you know what? That's what's spiking it. That's what's skewing it. Don't play Daniel Gafford. GPP option if you even look at Daniel Gafford. That's what I'm going to say on that right there. I don't mind coming off the bench, going to our boy Brandon Williams, who we know is going to go out there and log some pretty decent minutes, and he goes out there and he has some pretty decent days, especially if he's going to be dealing with Reed defense off the bench anyway. When he gets out there, if he's able to knock down the shots, that's an okay value option at that 5,200 price tag. And then Clay, if he goes out here, he knocks down the shots, he's another value piece that you can get to over here for them. Now on the Houston Rockets side of things, looking at it over here for them, no news to truly report over there for them. Amen Thompson, he's in a really great spot that we can go ahead and attack. My wife interrupted me, so I'm going to restart this. If I say what I already said, I'm sorry. Amen Thompson, I like him over here from the Houston Rockets as my late night piece hammer. Kind of like what I did last night where I said, looking at the late game, I said Al Horford. If I was going to play anything from that game, I definitely do think Al Horford. And Al Horford out there had a 30 piece. And I know y'all was looking at it like, I'm not playing no damn Al Horford. But he had a 30 piece. I hope y'all listen to your boy on that one right there at least. But Amen Thompson, I like it. I like the price. In both games, at least in 2 out of 3 games going up against Dallas, he's gone out here and surprisingly, they have lost 2 out of these 3 games going up against them. But in 2 of those 3 games, he's had at least 40 fantasy points going up against them. It's a really great spot. I don't mind it. Now, the piece that really sticks out to me that I do love, and you guys know, I love it. My boy Tari Eason. My boy Tari Eason, who he has been starting. Long as he's healthy, he's good to go. He definitely should be able to pay off this price tag. He's had 30 and 41 fantasy points in his 2 starts going up against the Dallas Mavericks this season. Definitely looking towards Tari as another option right there. And your GPP pivot that you can go down to, of course, is going to be none other than Jabari Smith Jr. Over there, it's a pretty decent spot where you can go ahead and mess with that as well. I'm not necessarily looking towards Kevin Durant, and I'm not necessarily looking towards Şengün. I just think that the price up here for Şengün is okay, but of course, you guys could tell, I'd rather just go ahead and play my boy Joel Embiid instead right there. I would say that Şengün would be your GPP pivot you can get down here to. And then, of course, off the bench, you can mess with Reed Shepherd if you want to at that 4,800 price tag. But favorite one, top 2 over here for the Houston Rockets, Tari Eason and Amen. Those would be my 2 late night hammers that I really will go heavier on if I'm trying to get a piece over here to just like tie out my whole thing for today. All right, so looking at it for a core on today, I'm going to go ahead straight up like my boy Tari Eason into the line. As a play, I already talked up my boy Jaime Jaquez. I don't see how it is that I can't just go ahead and just slide it in. Look at that. Already some really nice value. Jarris Walker, as long as he's getting the start, I don't see why I'm not going to go ahead and mess with him as a potential option. And boom, small forward, shooting guard, small forward, power forward. And I don't know if this is going to be chalky or not, but I already like the direction that it's already going. Love all 4 of those pieces right there on today's slate. Hopefully, this will be a really solid core right here. If you guys do follow this, of course, my actual core that I post onto the Patreon might be a little bit different. Not telling you that you guys got to subscribe to it. If you guys just listen to the stuff that I talk about inside the video, hopefully I am helping you guys cash and make some money, or at least just breaking through and just giving you something. If you guys are enjoying the content, as always, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you guys don't miss the sauce stuff your boy does drop over here on the channel. Drop a like on this video if you guys are enjoying what your boy does. Talk to me down in the comment section. Good luck to everybody. Enjoy your Saturday. Make sure you guys go out there and do what? Touch that grass. Peace.